What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Not the Peg Show. This is the second ever episode for Not the Pegs, the weekly podcast, at least for now. We're still figuring out the kinks, where I talk about the movie trivia Schmoedown and the week that has been. I am your host for today, Albert with Dharma. If you saw us on our very first episode, the season preview 35 burning questions, it was me and Kenneth. Unfortunately for today, Kenneth cannot be here. He haven't got the. I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna rat him out right now. He haven't seen any of the matches. What a disappointment. But yeah. So he haven't got a chance to see it. So I told him you better rather not him be on the show for today. I'll just do it on my own. So I don't really know how long this is gonna go. I'm probably gonna keep it under an hour because doing a podcast on my own is not the easiest thing in the world. So I'll do my best what I can do. I'll try to keep it. Oops. Well, there's technical difficulties. Hold on 1 minute as I try to figure out what happened. And yep, I should be back. All right. Something happened to my camera, but all good. Anyway, as I was saying, I'll try to keep this under an hour. I had some segments planned, but it's not gonna work if it's on my own. So I'll have to scrap all the segments because literally cannot bail on me in the last minute. So I'll try to work with what I have for so far. So yeah, we'll be covering the week that has been in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Yes, this New York event has happened. It live streamed almost 2 weeks ago now, and now it's finally out for the public. So perfect fitting for me to talk about it. So I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about RB3 versus Goddard, the most recent match at the Schmoedown. We'll be talking about the Skybounds Partnership and what it means to the movie trivia, of the trades that has been done. We'll talk about the new logos a bit. We'll talk about the upcoming schedules and everything. So yeah, stick around for the podcast and it will be that. So let's just get started to the first topic. The first particular topic, let's talk about the Brooklyn event in New York, the season opener. Andrew Guy versus Robert Meyer Burnett, formerly Dastardly Drew Guy, and yes, once again, I'm gonna spoil it. Now he's the debonair Andrew Guy. And the other match we have Merle Meyer versus Bibiani. So let's start with Andrew Guy and Robert Meyer Burnett first. So the match, the biggest takeaway out of this match was that, and I have a feeling Andrew Guy is gonna be a huge star this year. I think him having sort of a fresh start with the usual suspects. Yes, still part of the family. So I think it's still sort of a fresh start once again because he's changing his nickname, changing his persona. He's still Andrew Guy, but he's just taking it down a notch, not as heel as he used to be because he's no longer a heel. He's quote unquote a face, but he's still pretty much a tweener right now. But yeah, once again, no longer dastardly, now debonair after winning that match. But yeah, I feel like Andrew Guy is gonna have a big year, and Robert Burnett, in terms of competing, he did well for this one. They both have perfect first round, which is incredible. Andrew Guy landed on Kurt Russell. Robert Burnett landed on Andrew Guy's strength of Nolan. And yeah, they did quite okay for both. Not the best for Robert Burnett. And then of course Andrew Guy winning it against Robert Burnett at the very end. I believe it was by TKO. I'm pretty sure it was by TKO. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, 15-12 was the final score, Andrew Guy versus Robert Burnett. And yeah, it was a close match. It was a good match, full of drama. Perfect way to start off the season that way. And it was just an interesting match, starting with the promos and everything in the beginning. They know how to play the crowd, and the crowd in New York always seems so good. It always seems so electric, and that is something that I love to watch, especially since I'm not there. I'm watching it from the comfort of my own home, but I was able to see it, and I feel the energy. But yes, so that with all these new rules going around in the Schmoedown, with the new faction and everything, everything is so much more intense, so much more of esports. And yeah, the Burning Droogs lose 1 point. Well, they don't lose a point; they just don't gain any point. And the usual suspects gain 1 point because of Andrew Guy's win against RMB. So yeah, there is RMB did good, but I don't think he teased it at the very end about going to play once more time because he does have an open slot in his roster, but I don't think he will. I hope he doesn't. I'm not because he's not good at it, Just I feel like it could be used for a better potential of someone else that is new, that could fit into the roster, couldn't fit into the faction, and could actually be quite entertaining to watch. But yeah, aside from that, Robert Marbonette bring out James White, which he called the golden boy for him, and it is it's putting some pressure on, well, not really pressure, putting a spotlight on James White, second round pick in the draft, huge surprise by everyone, just like how the dungeon pick Robert Parker, but at least Robert Parker have some hype behind him, but James White doesn't really have any hype behind him, and so who knows? I don't think there's been a match scheduled for him yet, nor for teams, but it's been rumored that he's going to be teaming up with Ethan Irwin, because we officially know that Witness Seibold and Alonso Duralde is a team, and they have a match coming up quite soon, which we will touch eventually at the end of the episode. But yeah, James White is definitely now in the public eyes. People know who he is. And let's go back to Dastardly Drew Guy, or now Debonair Drew Guy. He's 3-2 all time right now. And I said that he's gonna have a big year, and I really do believe so. Not just in singles, not just in terms of his personality. I think he's gonna do well in teams. He's having a huge match coming up soon against Corruption for the family, and that's the #1 contenders match. The winner will face Founding Fathers, and that's gonna be a tough match. I think. Speaking as of right now, I'm gonna say Corruption might win it, just because Mike Kalinowski and Chance Allison, they're so good. Especially, we'll go back to Andrew Guy, but especially because if you've been following SEN Live, they announced that, I guess it's always been a thing, but for some reason the competitors wasn't ever really sure if that's officially a thing, or it's just like sort of an unknown, like it was like a question mark in the rule that you can put energetic slices on the wheel. Some competitors assume that you can only do it for the championship match. Some people assume that you cannot actually do it at all, but we saw Paul Oyama did it in championship match last year, so that's why people start assuming that. But I guess it was never really officially like declared and announced that you can actually use that in a regular match. So they cleared it out in SEN Live that you can actually do that. So that is going to be something to look forward to soon after, and it does play an impact to the match that we're going to be talking about next, the Dan Morrell #1 contenders match. But that, Mike Kalinowski and Chance Allison, they're both Interdictum players. At least Mike is a bigger Interdictum player than Chance at this point. And if they do put the Interdictum slices in the regular match, that's going to be scary for any competitors, because imagine Mike putting like Bond and like, let's say DCEU or DC. That's going to be big for that team, because that's like double of Mike's strength, and not as many people are. Yes, they watch DCEU, but how much do they know about DCEU? And especially Bond, it's like Mike's wheelhouse. So yeah, I do think that the Corruption might win that, but nevertheless, Andrew Guy, if the family win, Andrew Guy is gonna have a huge year looking ahead for him. And let's go to before you know what? Let's go to the #1 contenders match. Dan Morrell for the dangerous Dan Morrell versus the kid Brendan Meyer versus William the Beast Bibiani. This is it's a huge match to start off the season, and of course, we'll talk about the Skybound partnership soon enough. But being that they say there is a Skybound representative in this match, and they saw this match happen, it's such a good match for someone from Skybound to actually see it, that it's like so fitting, that they didn't that they put their money's worth. It's perfect. But yeah, this #1 contenders match, it have a final score of 27 to 26-25, which is insane. And it's so close. They both have good round ones. Viviani, of course, having the bonus points right there, the perfect first round. Meyer getting horror, which there is a controversy which we will cover. And then Bibiani, I'm checking right now what Bibiani got, and Morrell as well. But the biggest takeaway that from this match is literally there are challenges after challenges after challenges, and that only means that the competitors are invested in it. And I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go like round one, round two, round three. I'm just gonna touch some of the big points and talking about challenges. The first one that we have from the match is when Brendan Meyer. There's a lot of people named Meyer in this league. I just realized. Robert Meyer, when he got the horror and he got the question about the nun, and the answer was Conjuring 2. It was asking about the nun and everything, about Valak. And of course, Robert Meyer Bernard is not familiar with it. And Bibiani, he uses his challenge for for Meyer, for Brendan Meyer. Like that one was weird. And that I feel like that is just a scenario that will not happen anytime soon again. Because they're like two teammates facing off against one person from the Finstock Exchange in Merle. And by the way, the new name is Corky Mercs now, and I do really like the logo. Good job, Brian Ward, on that. But it's a very odd scenario, because if it's just a one-on-one match, of course this won't happen. Either they will challenge it, or now I guess you have to tell the manager that they want to challenge in order for that to officially happen. Or even I don't think, like, let's say, so we know Dan Murrell wins, right? We know Dan Murrell wins this match. So let's say in the Murrell versus Ben Bateman match, if there is a question that is poorly worded for Murrell, let's say, I doubt Ben Bateman's gonna challenge for Murrell. I don't think that's gonna happen. This only happens because Dan Murrell is on his own, even though it's a 1v1v1. But Meyer and Bibiani is kind of a team, sort of. And to be fair, it's more of Bibiani sort of defending the kid, because I don't think Meyer, he was fighting for his own as well. And he did defend Bibiani at some points, but not to the point where he actually challenged for Bibs. So yeah, it was just an odd situation. I don't think it will happen again unless something like this, like literally a triple threat where there's two teammates facing off against one teammate again. Unless that happens again, I don't think it will happen again, that kind of challenge in which Bibiani challenged for Meyer. But yeah, there is another somewhat controversy once again, talking about the Energeekdom wheel slice. Moral put Middle Earth because he's been training for Energeekdom, and he wasn't prepared for this one. So he decided, you know what, why not put Middle Earth? I believe it was a suggestion from Marak Nopik as well, Moral's partner. So yeah, he put Middle Earth. And for some reason, Meyer and Bibiani, I guess they didn't really get the memo. Once again, a lot of people were confused in the situation. So it was chaotic, and people actually got pissed. The competitors got pissed at, oh, why do you have it on a wheel? Why have we been bringing up in the first place? So yeah, that's just a confusion all around, but everything is hopefully cleared out right now in the Schmoedown. And another controversy that happens in round 3, I believe, Bibiani have a question regarding like a potential casting, the Stallone Eddie Murphy question. And it is just it's a movie news. It's a rumor type question that shouldn't be a thing anymore. And I know it's just a one-time slip up, but we gotta talk about it. And I know Harloff has addressed this won't happen ever again. But it's just odd that in this first match of the year, there are several controversies already, including, I missed the one that I forgot about. Brendan Meyer got the same exact question as he did just a couple of weeks ago. Well, not a couple of weeks, just last season. He got the same exact question, and it got directed to him again. So yeah, it's just really weird. G-Man in the chat, hey, what's up? But yeah, where were we? So yeah, the potential casting movie rumor question. That was once again really that doesn't belong in the Schmoedown, because there is so broad. You can just imagine asking a question like, oh, who was rumored to play Carol Danvers? And the answer will be like Katie Sackhoff or something. But it's so broad. Not a lot of people know that. And you have to actually stick to the stuff that is based on the movie itself. Even when Roka, if you follow backstage, Roka talk about Eric Stoltz, who was supposed to be in Back to the Future, right there. But of course, he was recast by Michael J. Fox. I don't think that belongs to the Schmoedown either. even though they did some filming and it was a lot of people know about that, but it isn't in the actual film where you can retain trivia from. So because of that, I don't think I don't think it belongs in the Schmoedown in terms of that type of question. So yeah, going back to another controversy once again, the the Jurassic Park question, which the answer was Richard Hammond. Oh well, not did I say Richard Hammond? Richard Hammond is the guy from Top Gear from Grand Tour. John Hammond from Jurassic Park, played by Sir Richard Attenborough. That's the answer. I just combined John Hammond with Richard Attenborough. Anyway, Moral said Sir Richard Attenborough, and Bibiani challenged, saying, "Oh nope, he is a lord. He's not a sir." And this is the biggest controversy, and people was talking about it for so long. And I did chime in at one point. I was in Champs Lunch podcast with Scott Harvey. So go check that episode out because I talk about this in detail over there. So I'm not going to touch it too much here. But at first, I thought it was a cheap move. I thought it was very unnecessary. But now that I think about it, he's just being competitive and he doesn't even know the answer. And people were saying that it's a heel move or whatever. I don't think it's a heel move no more because he's just trying to play the game. He's just trying to have a chance to regain. Oh, there is a lot of buzzing going on. I'll try to mute that one moment. But yeah, I thought it was a proper thing to do. I think people was pissed because it is a very nitpicky thing. I think people was pissed because there's been a lot of challenge in that night, in one night. It's been a long match. So, and it slows down the game, literally. Just like if you have too many timeouts in a football game, people get tired. So it's literally just like that. So yeah, that last challenge, people wasn't so happy about. And of course, Moral wasn't happy, and Moral literally got bad, and that's dangerous because Moral can turn it around, and it's when he got serious. So yeah, eventually Moral did win, and Bibiani lost the challenge because apparently, regardless, because at that point he's still a sir. When he eventually passed, he's a lord. Bibiani didn't know that, but the Schmoedown is going to accept either way. If it's a sir, a lord, a dame like Judi Dench or whatever, if it's the name, they will still accept it. And I guess they never really clarified that in the first place before. So Bibiani was like unhappy about it. But yeah, once again, I don't think he's a heel. I think he's just playing the game, and it's just the way that thing was worded that pissed people off. But he's literally just trying to be competitive. So I think it's a fair challenge. So yeah, let's go that, and then so yeah, now after that, Moral eventually wins the match 20 at the final score, which is insane, against Meyer versus Bibiani, which everyone went to the very end, which is incredible. But yeah, what an incredible match that is. So yeah, those are all the controversies. Those are all that happened. Let's move on. Before we get to the other match, let's touch on the fact that Skybound is now an official partner of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. That is something that they announced in ASEAN Live right before the actual live show, before the match. And they also announced it in the opening of this match, particularly in the New York event. So Skybound, if you don't know who they are the creators of The Walking Dead. They are an entertainment, multi-platform entertainment founded by Robert Kirkman and David Alpert. So they're huge. And the fact that they actually care about the Schmoedown, they invested in it, they're excited about it, they want to help the Schmoedown grow, and they don't, at least as far as I know, they don't want to change too much. They just trust in Harloff's vision. That is huge for the Schmoedown, and I'm excited for what their partnership can do. Logistics-wise, is going to be so much better. They're going to have probably more budget to do more stuff, maybe internationally, which is going to be amazing. That is one of the reasons they changed the logo for the Finstock Exchange and the Usual Suspects and the Mountie Marks name, just because to get things officially legal, because they won't actually sell merchandise, not like how they did it using TeePublic. They're actually going to go more legal route. So that's really exciting. So yeah, it's a huge get for Schmoedown. So I'm really happy being in this community since 2016, 2015, and being in my first reaction in 2017, and finally now in 2020 they got the credit that they deserve. It's just amazing to see, and hopefully more great things come of that. And yeah, aside from that, there is several trades. There are several stuff that happened behind the scene before the season even started. Um, ever since let's remove that. Ever since the first match happened live on air, and that in between there's been a lot of stuff that's going on. One of the bigger things is that Video Drew, she got traded from the Burning Droogs to the dungeon for, I should have fact checked this. Let me just let me just who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. But yeah, Video Drew, basically she was traded from the Burning Dukes to the dungeon. And that was a huge get for Kaiser and the dungeon. I don't know how they keep on getting the trades, and it sort of benefit them. At least Video Drew is an established player. While okay, I'm actually going to try to keep talking while I'm trying to search up who it is, because I don't remember by the top of my head who it actually was that got traded. I'm really, really sorry. It was, where's the dungeon? It was Claudia Dolph, I believe. Yes, it was Claudia Dolph that got traded, and Claudia Dolph is now in the Burning Droogs, and Video Drew is now in the dungeon. And it seems one-sided, because once again, we don't know what Claudia Dolph can do. We know what Video Drew can do, and she's pretty damn good. And I believe she's rumored to her new teammate is Tom, but it's actually Rick Hong. That she just calls everyone Tom. So that should be interesting to see what they can do. But yeah, Video Drew got traded, and literally Kaiser is like he's like the Sam Presti. He's like he's the GM. He's the top GM of the Schmoedown right now. So yeah, he's like the Masayu Ujiri of the Schmoedown. So basketball reference right there. But yeah, let's move on to the next match that we do have, unless I'm missing something. Let me just fact check this right now. One moment. I don't think, yeah, we got that. We covered the trade. We covered that. Oh, I do want to touch on one more thing. I feel like Bibiani was under a lot of pressure during that match, because he did lost 2 in a row in terms of teams and singles, and then now he lost against in singles. And I don't know when the next Shazam match is supposed to happen, nor when his next singles match is supposed to happen. So I guess Bibbs was under a lot of pressure during that match. So yeah, feel bad for Bibbs, but I think he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. I really like the quirky marks, so I have faith in them. So yeah, let's talk about the next match that we have here, and this is the match that just happened. When is it? It dropped yesterday. RB3 versus Ben Goddard. No more the Bagel Boy. He is the bandit, Ben Goddard. And of course, what a unbelievable performance by both players. Both perfect rounds, which is crazy. And eventually Ben Goddard wins it with that swagger. And it's a pretty close match throughout. RB3 didn't get the wheel size that he was looking for. Ben Goddard was more comfortable with his, and it was a huge win for the Den. They eventually got that 1+ points, while the swag loses the points and not earning any. But yeah, first of all, the double perfect round, that doesn't happen really often. So it's a huge prop for both of them. The question, I'm not here to say that the question was easier than the usual, but I feel like the question was a bit easier than the standard match. But they got perfect round nevertheless. So it's just impressive of what they are able to do. And yeah, Goddard got Middle Earth, which he's a fan of, I believe. I don't know how much he knows about it, but he did pretty well during that round. And of course, RB3 landing on Fantasy Sci-Fi, which is more broad, and he did rack up some points. but it wasn't enough to overcome Goddard's 15 points at the end of round 2, where RB3 only have 13. And at round 3, of course, RB3 got that Sandra Bullock 2 weeks notice question, and he misses it. He got the Oscar question, and he got it. And then, of course, it goes back to the Bandit, and he got his Aladdin question. And finally, it throws it back to the final question for RB3 in the abominable Dr. Phepes, the question for horror. And of course, he didn't get it. And so the Bandit Goddard wins that one. In terms of debut for Goddard, this is a good debut. This is a very solid debut. It reminds me of when Lon first played, or when Bibiani not Bibiani is just too high. When Lon first played, which is pretty good. And I can't remember if Lon win or loses his first match. Who does he face in his first match? I can't remember. But his knowledge and his style of swagger and confidence just remind me of that, even though they have definitely different personalities. And the Bandit, he says, is going to steal people's gimmicks. And I guess RB3 doesn't really have a gimmick yet. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do for the winner of Sheridan versus Bonnie Somerville, if that's actually happening. So he's going to steal their gimmick. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And yeah, RB3, he's 0-3 now. He was 0-2 coming to this match. He was the favorite, even though he's played more times because the Bandit has not played before. But he's now 0-3. That's got to be rough on his record. I don't know who he can play next. He definitely knows his stuff. That's the thing, though. He just, for some reason, he couldn't pull it out. And it's just very unfortunate. But yeah, once again, the Bandits winning that, scoring the points for the Den. And they have a potential to have a Den v Den match if Brett Sheridan wins it. But yeah, I keep on messing up names in this episode. Robert Meyer Burnett, Brendan Meyer, they both share the Meyer, and then Robert Butler III and Robert Meyer Burnett, they both share Robert. I keep on messing names, so I'm really sorry. Plus, I'm on my own. So, but yeah, they earn those points. And talking about which, if you guys have not seen the new Schmoedownlive.com, check that out, because Frank Janish has been working on that, and we'll see the website soon. But I'll show you. I'll show you in the live stream right now. But they've done some really good stuff in terms of schedule, in terms of the live events, in terms of getting tickets, in terms of the records, the faction stuff. So it's been really, really good. And yeah, let's go to that now while we talk about the upcoming schedule. So we already know. Let me fix full screen that. We already know that the Andrew Guy this one has already happened. New York match, RB3 Goddard. The next match, we got Tom and Paul, which I believe that's not their actual team name. They're going to change it eventually, hopefully, versus Deep 13, which is Whitney Seibold and Alfonso Duralde. So that's going to be a big one. And then we have Bonnie Somerville versus Brett Sheridan on Friday. Once again, that's going to be a lot of fun just to see if Bonnie is going to be there or not. And of course, Brett Sheridan. Who knows what's going to happen to him? He debuted in free-for-all. I don't believe he scored a single point. He lasted one round, but let's see what he can actually do in his debut. Real Rejects versus the Cuckoo's Mess. Cuckoo's Mess is supposed to be Video Drew and Rick Hong, so we'll see what they can do there. Mark Riley versus Janine. Corruption versus The Family. Barbarian versus Clee Wiggins. Alex Damon versus Emily Jacobson. Ben Bateman versus Dan Morrell. Kevin Smith versus Mark Hanopek. Those are all the scheduled match. In addition, we also know that Odd Couple is going to face Who's the Boss. Snyder is going to face Irwin. Robert Parker is going to be facing Ace Cabrera. Sullivan is going to be facing Adam Witt. And Roka is going to face Oyama. So that's a lot on the slate of all the matchup that we are going to see in whenever they're going to air it. But the one that is most exciting to me that I want to see, I'm really excited for Roka Oyama, obviously, because it's like old school versus new school. They both really want the win. It can go either way. That's going to be really, really exciting. I'm also very much excited about Who's the Boss, Odd Couple once again. I'm excited for Erwin Snyder. I'm very excited for Parker and Ace because I want to see Parker finally debut in the Schmoedown. I'm excited for Sheridan Somerville, which is happening next week for a completely different reason. Give me one moment as I need to take a quick drink. And then we have Machine versus Riley, which is going to be very exciting as well. Because Mark Riley hasn't been the best in singles recently, and the Machine is really hungry for it. She's been studying a lot. So I think Machine got that one, but that's a conversation for a different day. So yeah, it's a lot of match. It's a lot of upcoming exciting match. And I was just about to say I'm going to show you guys this one. So yeah, if you go to the website, literally go to faction standings and look at that. Yes, the graphic isn't loading for some reason, but they show the amount of match played, the wins, the loss, the KOs, if there is any, and the points that they earn. So right now, the Finstock Exchange is tied with the Usual Suspects and the Den at the top 3 because they both earn 2 points each. Finstock Exchange winning, they only have one match, right? So I guess one match equals to 2 points. I'm not too sure. So I guess if that's the case, then that's it. And the Usual Suspects for Andrew Guy getting the 2 points. The Den for what's his name? Van Goddard, he got the 2 points as well. So yeah, that's why they're all in the 2 points. And of course, Burning Droogs, Quirky Merchant, Swag with 0, and Dungeon Corruption and Rockstars haven't been playing yet. That it is. But yeah, just look at all those graphics down there. You can see all the factions. If you in case forgot, oh, who's in whose team? Let's check the Finstock Exchange. Oh, there it is. They got all the rosters down here. They got the players playing in which division, who it is, who's in what team. So it's literally going to be, it's so easy to navigate and it's so well done. So congrats to Frank Janish and everyone else working on the website. All the singles record, all the teams record, tournament, and everything is all over there. So it's worth to check it out. So it's been great. So yeah. I guess I didn't go as much detail as I want to. Once again, I'm on my own. I don't know how much I can do. We're approaching 30 minutes. So I'll just say this. In case you guys don't know, every week it's supposed to be me and Kenneth. Kenneth, once again, isn't here because he haven't seen the match. So I'm going to really push him to see both matches because they're really good. And I'm going to push him to watch the next match as well because or not, I won't let him back on the show. And I'm probably going to find a different co-host. But yeah. We do have a thing every week, which we decided we haven't really have a name for it. I guess it's pick 'em, pay off, or whatever. But basically, before every match, we pick a competitor that we want to root for, and then at the end of the month, we will be seeing who have the better record, and that person will get punished during the show. So basically, during the season preview, I pick Merle and I pick Andrew Guy, and Kenneth also pick Merle and Andrew Guy. So we both have a 2-0 record in terms of our picking and betting. And as for the RB3 versus Goddard, since we didn't actually record anything and we didn't know that match was coming out first, we talked behind the scenes of who we want to get. I pick RB3 because I had a faith on him. I cannot pick Goddard without knowing who he is. So it's Kenneth literally just got dumb luck. So at the end of the first week, I have a record of 2-1 and Kenneth have a record of 3-0. So basically, at the end of the month of February, whoever have the worst record is going to be punished on the show. So I'm really hoping that I have a better record at the end of this month because I don't want to get punished on the show. So Kenneth, for the upcoming next week's match, which we know it's going to be Tom and Paul versus the Deep 13. So Kenneth rooted for Tom and Paul, which I also do take Tom and Paul, so that doesn't really matter either way. But then Kenneth picked Brad Sheridan, and I'm picking Bonnie Somerville. So I'm really hoping. I think Somerville's gonna win this. She knows her stuff. The only question is if she's going to be there. So I'm really hoping Bonnie Somerville wins that for me. So I can tie the record with Kenneth. So yes, I guess that's it. It's been fun talking to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy and listen to the podcast. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing this weekly, hopefully. And if not, then if you're listening on the audio on the podcast, then not the Pigs podcast, go subscribe to that so you don't miss out on whenever I post some stuff. Whenever I talk Schmoedown, I'll be posting it there. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, check us out, spread the word for Not the Pig Show. So yeah, go ahead and do that. It really means a lot to us. And if you want to follow me on social media, go check me out at J. Dharma on Twitter and Instagram. I also have another podcast called The Councilmen Show. That's where me and Kelvin and Arik and Takut, my high school best friends, we talk about movies on a weekly basis. Sometimes talk about TV, video games. Sometimes we just talk about nonsense and just tell scary stories in the middle of a summer. So yeah, it's just really. The way to describe it, if you're familiar with the Schmoedown, is my version of SEN. I'm just hanging out with my friends, talking movies and whatever. So yeah, go check that out. It's called The Councilman. You can find it on podcast, or you can find it on my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And finally, go check out the Schmoedown if you don't know what it is. I'm talking about it for half an hour. So go check out the Schmoedown. Support the Schmoedown. Support them on the Facebook page. Support the Patreon. It's a huge season. Season 7 is going to be huge. And so, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I guess I'm going to announce it now before I wrap up. I'm going to be in the free-for-all. I'm going to be watching live in the free-for-all. I'm not competing. Just to clarify, I'm not competing in free-for-all. I'm going to be attending the event, my second live event ever after Chicago. So if you guys will be there, let me know so we guys can meet up, because it's been awesome. I know a lot of people in the community online. Never meet them in person. So I'm hopefully excited to finally do that. So, yeah, guys, thank you once again. And check us out all over there. Kenneth, you can find him at Kenneth Luciano S on Twitter and Kenneth_Luciano on Instagram, I believe. So yeah, go check us out. And until next time, it is not the pigs. Spin it from the pigs. I messed up the catchphrase. Spin it from the wheels, not the pigs. And see you guys next time.